Today we're going to be working on Leetcode question number 166, fraction to recurring decimal. Given two integers representing the numerator and denominator of a fraction, return the fraction in string format. If the fractional part is repeating, enclose the repeating part in parentheses. If multiple answers are possible, return any of them. It is guaranteed that the length of the answer string is less than 10 raised power 4 for all the given inputs. So basically we're going to be returning the answer 1 divided by 2 is equal to 0.5, so that's what we're going to be returning. If it is 2 divided by 1, it's going to be 2 in the string format. But if it is 4 divided by 333, we have a recurring 0.012 and then 012 and then 012, so we're going to be representing it like this. That being said, okay, the edge case or the basic case, like where the numerator and the denominator both just completely divide, like numerator divided by basically numerator modulus denominator is 0 meaning they are there is no remainder. Then it's very simple. We're gonna say that if numerator modulus denominator equals to 0, in this case we're gonna just return the numerator floor division by denominator, and we're gonna convert it to a string. That's what we're gonna be returning. So if that is not the case, we do have a remainder, right? So for that one, first of all, we're gonna calculate that the final answer, what is gonna be the sign of that. The sign is gonna be equal to an empty sign if the numerator multiplied by denominator, right? If we multiply them and the answer is greater or equal to 0, otherwise, like basically it's saying that the numerator multiplied by the denominator, if it is greater than or equal to 0, if any one of them, right, if any one of them, not anyone, if one of them, only one of them is negative, that means the sign is going to become negative, otherwise it's going to be a positive sign. So else it's going to be a negative sign. Okay, now our numerator is just to be on the safe side, where because we already know what's going to be the final sign, we're going to say our numerator is the absolute value of numerator. Similarly, the denominator is going to be the absolute value of denominator. So once we have them like the absolute values of those ones, we're gonna say that our result is we're gonna calculate the first part of the result, like before the decimal part, which is gonna be very straightforward. The result is gonna be equal to our sign plus, so we're gonna append the other string as numerator floor division with the denominator, right, and plus a period sign. So this is gonna be the decimal part of it. Now we're gonna the numeric part of it. Now we're gonna start working on the decimal part. Okay, first of all, we're gonna kind of find we're gonna say that numerator is gonna become equal to, we're gonna take the modulus of that just so that we can bring it to the smallest, like once we denominator. Just to bring the numerator to its smallest size, we're going to say that the numerator is basically equal to the modulus of that. So we're gonna be all because and the reason for that is we already calculated this part, so we can actually do that. The numerator is now just the modulus of the modulus with the denominator, and that is the new numerator. Our index is gonna be 0. Our part which we were trying to calculate is gonna be equal to empty at the beginning, right? And then what we're gonna be doing is like we're gonna create a dictionary where m is gonna be our dictionary, and initially it's gonna be that numerator, and its value is gonna be equal to that index. So initially we're saying our numerator after taking the modulus of that is if that is the key and that its value is 0, because its value is 0, meaning that this is basically for every single time when we're gonna move to the next step. We're gonna say that the numerator, what is the value in the dictionary, if we have already seen it before or not. Okay, so while the numerator modulus denominator, so basically while they don't completely divide each other, right, we're gonna keep doing it. What we're gonna say is that the numerator is we're gonna multiply it with 10, and then we're gonna increment our index, and then we're gonna calculate the remainder. We did it just for calculate the remainder. The remainder is gonna be equal to it's gonna be equal to numerator modulus denominator, and that happens when you put the period in. You can multiply it with 10, and as we're gonna be appending it in a string format, every single time we are actually just like a regular division, whenever you are actually going to calculate the next one, you multiply it with the 10. Okay, now once we have the remainder, what we're gonna say is like we're gonna append our first of all we are going to say is that the part, because the part is the part which we are calculating is initialized as an empty string, so this is gonna be equal to because we already know the remainder, right, the numerator. So now we can actually divide the numerator, the new numerator, after multiplying the numerator with 10. We can actually get the first part by numerator floor division with denominator. So that's gonna be the part, and now we're gonna check if this remainder is already in this map. If if the remainder is in the M, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do something over here when the remainder is in the M. Basically we have found the solution that okay, we have visited it, and if this is the numerator, and we already know the value of that, so that being said, we can just return it. But if it is not the case, all we have to do is like we're gonna put the new value into that map. We're gonna say that this is the remainder and this is its value, right? And then we're gonna say that the numerator is gonna become equal to the remainder. But let's say if the remainder which you got here, if it already exists in the map, that means we have found the solution. but for that one we have to create that thing like open parenthesis, that value, and then the close parenthesis. For that, what we're gonna do is like we're gonna say that the part is basically equal to basically it is equal to the part, right? We already had the part, so the part until like m and the remainder plus open parenthesis, because remember the part can have multiple, it doesn't have to be like this, it can be like 0 1 2 3 and then a parenthesis of repeating stuff starts. So we have to tell him the first part, which is basically the up to that point, and then we're gonna start the repeating one where it's gonna start with the open parenthesis and then part like the our dictionary m and the remaining one of that and the rest of it, because basically this tells you where the wait 1 second. So once we have that, we're gonna put the closing bracket in. Yes, so basically because the answer can be anything like period and then a particular non-recurring one, so we have to put that one first, and then we are gonna say that it's gonna be the open parenthesis and then the part which is kind of recurring, right? And how do we know the recurring one and non-recurring one? Because we have this because m has different values, right? M is a dictionary which tells you that if this is the remainder, you're gonna have that index for that. So we are going to do is that we're gonna have a part which is not recurring and then the part which is recurring inside the and the one which is recurring is gonna be within the parenthesis, and in the end we're gonna return the result plus the part. And if we come out of this while loop, that basically means that, what does this mean if we come out of this one? So basically we kept calculating and basically this didn't stay true. That means like after the period and some of the calculations we just were done with it, and there wasn't basically a recurring one, right? There wasn't really a recurring one, that's why we didn't enter into this one. So in that case we're just gonna say that this is equal to result plus part. That should be the string. Yes.